kills. Like, if anyone did it, it may be Miracle. But here goes, let's jump into it here. Jake, Yell will be on the new bracket here on the left side in the blue. Wubby to pull off that lead. Oric, Boink to show off some gold and hopefully finish out that corruption snap. Snitch on Kerrigan, and finally Zelia on Taronda. Blizzcon, are you cheering for Dignitas?
They're not the only ones in this game. To the right of Infernal Shrines, game number 1 in this best of 5. Sniper on Urel, Frankel playing Hanzo in this first game. Nacho Jin on the Sonya. We're seeing Blue Beetle on Deckard again, and Judy on Johanna. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Miracle!
Immediately, all eyes are on top of Snitch here, looking for those combos, trying to find those couple of picks, and then you're going to have JBL followed up with a big cocoon. Oh, hang on here, though. Here goes an immediate fight right away. Nacho did in trouble. He's spinning out, but he was so close to death.
Yeah, Dignitas definitely coming out swinging in this one, nearly taking first blood here in the first engage. Already also a few adjustments in terms of the build. When we talk Leoric, we oftentimes talk about how Awesome's renewal came in through the Korean meta that was displayed at the Eastern Clash. It was a huge change for the European scene, making that happen. But right now we are seeing Wubby going into the Consume Vitality again. Of course, for those Shrine fights, definitely something you can get extra value out of.
Counter, how did I know that you would talk about Leoric? We knew that was coming there. Yes, a bit of a change up here, but that also kind of builds in the idea that we were talking about on the desk a little bit. Whenever we need those engages for Kerrigan, now you have Leo can jump up, steal a little bit more life in the middle of the fight, try and hit that back line, and that buys more time for his teammates.
I've already told you about our Lord and Savior. That's right.
I would love to hear about it sometime, but for now we got to focus on an amazing match here. Sonya also bringing out that slam build there at level 1, looking to help with that wave clip, but also to bring in some decent damage in the team fight. Dignitas, though, not missing a beat, already jumping on the mercenary camps here to the south.
Yeah, and Miracle has to be careful, especially after Kerrigan engage. There's always such a huge threat here. When we're talking about wave play, we mentioned the cooldown reduction at level 1, but you have that that cooldown behind you as well. Fights are also plenty in this game as we once again have the engage. Miracle trying to jump out here. Sniper needs to be cautious. He's able to walk away, but both of the teams showing their willingness to be aggressive from the get-go.
Yeah, Miracle is not scared at all. Not stepping up there, looking to try and get on top of Taronda. Zelia able to kite away, but it is something that we have to worry about later on, especially when that damage build comes online for Sonya. Taronda can be sniped quickly if Dignitas is not careful, but Miracle showing once again that they want to stick with what they love. Being a bow constrictor, getting those kills, and trying to tighten up and find the pits.
I'm seriously looking forward to these big team fights because you look over to Dignitas have, and you have a really good idea of what their strategy is going to be like. But then Miracle have a lot of good counterparts. You have those zoning aspects of Deckard Cain. You see the extra armor coming in through Urel, which especially Sonya can benefit from. And of course, Johanna condemns, get the flash right out, make sure that there are a couple of blinds coming through, and that could really stop Dignitas and really make it difficult for them to get those kills. So it has to be snap plays.
They drafted survivability, and with the Blaze ban, they wanted to make sure they had the best options available to be able to get through that initial push from team at Dignitas. Sonya, when that Wrath comes online, should be able to jump on the back line. Urel, we know she can live forever when she gets an Ardent Defender. Hanzo's the only one at a major risk here, but he should be playing safe and near Deckard Cain. I'm actually worried for Dignitas to find those kills, but they can get Punisher pickoffs if they're on point. Speaking of kills, Snitch in the middle.
Snitch goes down, Kerrigan dies, and that is a bad time to lose a Kerrigan. Shrine is up, and already Miracle taking the control here and trying to take the lead. Dignitas still on the outskirts of the objective, attempting to get a couple of minion hits, but that was definitely a setback for Dig.
Dignitas could be considering just giving up this point, but would love to get a couple corruption stacks, so hanging around here to maybe finish that off. Also, Toronto's level 4, that Lunar Flare want to get that too. But they are hanging pretty close here, 18 to 24, and Kerrigan's on her way back.
You're right, they're hanging in there. The lead has been taken by Miracle, but Dignitas isn't tuning too badly, and Snitch is back to business.
Sniper on the left side, ready to flank in. Boom, jump straight on in. Poik. He gets knocked back, and Miracle has 2 kills.
The counter kill against Sonya, though, as Dignitas is immediately trying to make some plays of their own here. They're going for that Shrine. Who gets the Punisher? Dignitas with the hits, but 38 against 36. Is Miracle able to get it? 39. They want to go for JBL. They can't get the bug, but they get the Punisher.
Miracle gets a Punisher. They're low on mana, but they're chasing now. They're looking for a kill as well. Wubby should be able to escape. Snitch also in the top right, but Miracle with the first Punisher of the game in its best of 5 series should be open the wall.
2 kills against 1. 8 stacks on the Echoed Corruption here for Poik, who was pressured heavily from a Miracle as he saw that great flank coming in from Urel. Punisher moves in, and Miracle with a follow-up against the wall. They're even looking with Judy if they can maybe get a bit more out of this.
Dignitas should be able to defend this. The fort does take a bit of a beating, but but it's fine. A little over half health. Level 7's more important here for Dignitas. He's gonna start soaking up and contain Sonya as in the top lane.
Wubi helping out with the defense at first, but then once Sonya started to push out the lane topside, he immediately made the rotation to ensure that they would not lose any lane experience. So even with the first Punisher taken, Miracle isn't really far ahead in XP at all. They're taking a tiny lead, they opened up the wall, that's a win for them, but Dignitas is currently still holding their own in this game.
What's illustrated for me here is that Miracle has no fear against facing us against Dignitas. They're happy to be here, they were wholesome about it in their interview, but in their gameplay, they are showing that they are willing to bring the fight to Dignitas. That is a huge testament to them, and another reason why they deserve to be here. Our Miracle steps up, takes the mercenary camp away from Dignitas, and Dignitas just holds on safely.
Dignitas is a very similar team when we talked in the last match about execution oftentimes and how when you see a Korean team fall behind in the early game, it's the level 10 that you really have to worry about. And I feel the same is also true for Dignitas. Whenever in our regional play we are seeing that, it's always watch what happens on level 10. It's Dig turning it around, and that's currently what I'm thinking here too. Teams are neck to neck, but it's level 10 when Dignitas usually really comes into their own.
I mean, we saw it with the Team Liquid series. That Horrify is such an amazing tool, especially against a Sonya who starts spinning there, maybe overstepping a bit, thinks she gets that full engage, and then you just blow her up.
Absolutely. Horrify is such a game changer, and you've executed a good one, then you're in a great spot here. And let's not forget that we're also having that cocoon all of a sudden, so you can really get isolation picks, kills, try and just completely destroy the synergy on your opponent's side.
All about that number advantage. Johanna will help out a lot, though, with that Iron Skin being able to step up and deal with that onslaught coming forward. The Ballistic Shield can slow down the momentum of Dignitas, so Miracle will be fine themselves at level 10. For now, we are at level 9, and we are building towards that 10 right now. The next shrine will be spawning to the south for both of our teams.
For Miracle also with, of course, that aggressive potential. They have the Poison Spear on level 7. You can get a bit of burst damage here. Follow that up with Hanzo. And level 10 abilities will give them also a lot of CC that's going to be available through Hanzo's engage. And of course, you can follow that up with their Arcane. You have a Blessed Shield. So there's a lot of initiations on both sides that can be used to secure a kill quickly in a battle.
Nitrogen in the bottom. Combo comes out but misses. Nitrogen spins away. Lunaflare comes in. JPL with the big flank. Here's a Burrow charge. Here's a knock-up, and Sonya will fall. Dignitas by the second kill of the game.
Great kill by them, and that's the cocoon play that we just talked about. You force the fight again. You get a kill. You try to make it through. You go for Hanzo, and so far Frankel still survives, but not for long.
Love the play there from JPL, actually. I thought he would drop the impel first, but he actually waited for where Hanzo was going to be jumping away with that natural agility and then chase after with the Burrow charge. Miracle loses 2, and Dignitas able to find a couple of kills and a perfect time too. A shrine activating in 15 seconds.
50 seconds on the other hand when we're looking towards that Horrify, so that it is going to allow Miracle to engage into that shrine fight a bit more aggressively.
Ardent Defender, all these abilities available here for Miracle. You got the Wrath of Berserker as well for Sonya to jump in. And that Stay a While and Listen, even more important. What a great way to stop momentum from your opponent.
It's going to be such a great first game here. Already the engage onto JPL, and he some damage. The arrow, they're hit. They go for the block. They want him. JPL in trouble.
He gets out. Stay a While and Listen comes out at the same time, but it's not missing. At the same time, Stitch turns around, gets the combo. It connects. Sniper in trouble, and here's an Entomb.
The Entomb comes out and blocks the pathway, but JPL forces the counter kill once more against Sonya. Sniper is also in trouble. He jumps out. It's not enough. The kill is there. Dignitas takes the double kill.
Yrel used the Ardent Defender, and that's when the cocoon came out. They waited for the duration of the Ardent Defender, being cleaned up afterwards. Miracle losing too, and now Dignitas will take the reward, which is a big Punisher to push in the bottom lane. The best part too, top lane's pushing in already.
5 kills against 3 in Dignitas' favor, and they are a level ahead at this point. Miracle at the beginning showing the aggression, but right now struggling as Dignitas is hoping to take down the bottom fort, maybe even get 13, and looking for more kills as a follow-up of the Punisher stuff.
That's right. The Punisher, when it jumps in, you'll see Kerrigan dive in. Even a Nubrak, too, who's on his way, should be here in a couple of seconds. Miracle, aware of this threat, is actually going to give up that fort. Go soak in the middle lane instead.
Already the pressure at the bot side. Top, of course, at the same time, Wubi is draining down Nitrogen, but the fort is going to fall, and that will be level 13 in the hands of Dignitas. They have Cocoon, and Miracle knows it. They cannot hang around here. They know that at any point, Dignitas has the option to force the fight through an Anubarak engage in a quick Cocoon.
I felt like Miracle was hoping for a better Stay a While and Listen. They only got the one target to Kerrigan, which didn't allow them to find that kill afterwards. Dignitas was able to escape, especially with Nubrak. burrow charging away. Finally, Miracles can defend that bottom lane, but look at the results. Dignitas has level 13, a level and a half lead on Miracle. Miracle is going to need to pull it together soon.
Right, let's be honest about this. There was a scary moment for Dignitas initially when all of a sudden JPL gets caught. He's able to survive through it, dies then later on, but it was still a 1-for-1 trade. If he dies to the initial engage, we're looking at a completely different situation.
One thing Miracle can do is make sure that the next shrine phase that pops up, they are the first ones there. Have Sony pop that rat, make sure that it's running. Be ready for the fight. You have the explosive barrel for the clear too. Just make sure you beat Dignitas to the punch.
Great move by Dignitas here. Taking the fountain now, the next objective is going to spawn towards the top, so that already helps them to gain a small advantage over Miracle when they're trying to go for the shrine fight. They themselves still have that fountain. They can always top up or just pre-tap before they go straight into the battle.
On the other side, Miracle just playing it safe. Going towards that 13, not allowing for anyone to get picked off. You have your Relic playing safe in the top right corner with a couple of members of Dignitas missing on the battleground. They just want to play it safe. But Dignitas is going to take advantage of that vision, and Miracle playing on the safer side. They run straight to the bottom, grab this camp as well, which will be pushing towards that keep wall.
Yeah, Miracle knows right now they're behind, but as long as they focus on the next objective, if they take a team fight, they're back in this easily. They know there's very little chance of Dignitas reliably having a level 16 available. For Miracle already with the aggression at the top, trying to put some pressure onto Whoopi, but he's holding his own, of course, on the lane.
Yeah, he hit that drain hope. The moment you hit that drain hope as a rework, you know you're in a decent spot.
Yeah.
Healing up, clearing out the minion waves, no rush, your teammates coming too. Lunar Flare connects, Sniper trying to retreat here on the top right side. Now popping that Ardent Defender, but Dignitas getting some decent damage in there with only 3.
And Whoopi absolutely no fear. I love also Snitch's play at the bot side. Throughout all of this, pushes the waves out, makes sure that he smoothed the way for that camp that he just now took, and is then able to make an easy rotation in the middle, grab the experience, and join up with the rest of the team topside eventually.
Yeah, going towards that 16. Gul'dan right now at 22 stacks of the 40 that he needs to synergize with that level 16 he's wanting to move into and pick up. But still, Dignitas is working towards that, and they're completely on track right before the shrine. Miracle might not even have a chance to win the fight for the shrine. Have to play it safe, give up their fort, and soak up for the next fight.
Dignitas, with all that soak that we've seen in bottom and mid lane, are now so close to 16 that whenever that shrine gets announced, they will have all the time in the world to get that extra talent. They're already working on the fort. Their rotation have allowed them to pressure that even more. Whoopi is anchoring the flank, making sure that there's no way for Miracle to collapse onto them. That's a great spot for Dig. They can move back, wait for 16, and they have the upper hand.
That damage there sets them up for a play on the keep. They're wanting to play for catapults in the next
absolutely.
if they can. So taking out that fort just stops that one speed bump that Miracle had available to them. So Dignitas making a pretty darn clever play. Miracle slow to the rotation, but finally they beat off Dignitas. Now Dignitas for the moment is working on setting up that shrine at the top.
Yeah, and the big question here, of course, still remains. How is Miracle going to play this? Are they willing to give this up? Do they maybe push another lane and try to take a fort themselves to get even more experience? Do they just accept that they have to fight against a talent advantage and then engage into the battle?
The obvious play that a majority of teams would do would just go straight to that bottom lane. You go to the opposite side of the map, you try to pull your opponent, then take that fort. That's a big experience. They do have a fort in the middle that's lower on health, and Sony, if she's able to get on top of that with a minion wave, should be able to clear that out. So I think that's the first option for Miracle, and then rush to the bottom.
But here's the dangerous part. Miracle splits on 3 lanes because they're saying we need the XP, and Dignitas is reacting immediately. It's like, why would we chase after you? We push through the top, we take that fort, and then we walk up to the keep, maybe destroy the wall already, but that's why our Punisher is going to be the moment we're going to try and make that play for the keep.
This play gets Miracle back in the game, but the play for Dignitas puts him in the spot to end the game. Dignitas already pushed from the top side, getting that gate open. That gate is instrumental. The moment that Dignitas has a jump in from the Punisher and jumps into a target, they follow it up now, thanks to the turrets not being there.
Pressure still at the bot lane through Sonya. They want 16. Miracle wants it. The Arcane Punisher's coming through, adding insult to injury here. Having the Arcane Punisher push through is making this push even more dangerous. Dignitas would love to get a kill. Punisher engage into a Kerrigan stun could mean game.
Sonya finally gets that fort, and that'll be 16 for Miracle, but as you mentioned, Dignitas on the front door, heading straight in for that keep. How will they follow this up? Iron Skin comes out from the Entomb to lock down Dawn.
Entomb is there, the damage not. Here comes the stay while and listen, and JPL gets wrecked.
Absolutely destroyed, but Snitch pops the mouse from trying to deal with Sonya on the back line, but Sniper willing to jump in, and the Orc already backing up the Punisher by itself.
This fight isn't over just yet. Nacho Jin is slow, the Punisher there, the Arcane Sentry is dishing out the damage as Miracle is scrambling away. Snitch wants a kill, and he's trying to go for Judy.
Punisher is about to jump again, and Dignitas is aware, but they want to follow it up. Combo comes out, hits Nacho Jin, but the Stone Skin comes away. Wubby trying to retreat at the the same time while the Punisher gets low.
Snitch, they go for Kerrigan. They try to get the kill here. Judy's there, Nitrogen follows it up, and Snitch goes down. Miracle, they defend the keep, and they take the double kill. They might get a triple here. Zelia is on the run, but he is so close to being attacked by Sniper, and Sniper is catching up.
Yeah, there it is. Zelia turns around and realizes that he needs to die here. He doesn't want to have any delayed deaths. Frank
That guy
finally
crash.
gets that last auto attack. A beautiful defense there by Miracle, turning around, blowing up a new Brack. But again, the big stay a while listen is the reason why Miracle is able to live. Blue Beetle is here to play.
What a fantastic defense. That was so well executed. I was worried they might lose the game there. If that Punisher jumps, Kerrigan follows it, or an Uberak, and all of a sudden there's a first kill coming in. We're not only talking about Key, we're talking core all of a sudden. Miracle is having none of it. They're getting 2 kills, they defend the core and the keep, push Dignitas back, take a fort on the way. Fantastic performance by them, and all of a sudden, yeah, back in experience.
Exactly, stabilizing the game, which means now our next Punisher is going to be the big one for both of our teams. And if you look at it, both teams currently using their first layer of defense, except for Miracle in the middle, and that's where the next shrine is at. So Miracle, if they decide they can't quite take that fight, they can play the slow game. They can allow for that fort to take the brunt of the Punisher.
Miracle not sniffing out Whoopi here as he recalls. At the same time, also, we have now, with level 16, of course, the Ruinous Affliction 4 Gul'dan. And currently, Poik is sitting at 24 stacks. Hasn't completed his level 1 quest just yet. But I also want to highlight that every time we're talking about Sonya, we're talking about her late game capabilities and how she just immensely scales into the late game. The nerves of Steel on 16 are going to give her so much more survivability. And we've seen already how much of a focus Sonya is for Dignitas whenever she engages. They look for just 1 second where Sonya oversteps to immediately punish her. And those nerves of Steel are going to make that a lot harder.
Now, that's one of the things about Sonya, man. You always have that slight doubt. Can we actually finish this kill? And next thing you know, she's popping the nerves of Steel, and she's back to full health.
Yeah.
So Sonya will definitely be a factor there for Miracle, making sure to get in those spots and not get CC'd to death. Dignitas has a slight experience lead building towards that level 20, and it seems like currently with the pace of the game, we will have 20 for both of our teams. So thinking about that, let's talk about Storm Powers. Suddenly looking at level 20, you got Buried Alive coming online for Leoric, and Leoric has been there to fall with Johanna every time after she uses the irons.
Yeah. I feel like once we hit level 20, a lot of it is really going to hinge on Whoopi once again. He needs to be able to land those entombs to get the Buried Alive in, and then the follow-up for a kill. But of course, Johanna with the Indestructible has an immense viability power. You see that going to be even increased through Sonya as well. Bottomless Flask as an option at least that we could see here for Deckard Cain if they feel that those fights are going to hinge on their shrine fights.
I actually think you could look at level 20 for Miracle and say they might have a slightly better level 20 with the potions that you mentioned, with that Ignore Pain coming on for Sonya, even more delayed to the point that we were just talking about. So Miracle builds for that 20, and we're going to have that shrine in the middle.
I mean, it's scary. It's exactly what we've been talking about through the draft. Those are such aggressive compositions. We're going to see a lot of brawling happening here. Both of the teams, they want the Storm Talons. There's caution, and they're starting to move in. Storm Talons at exactly the same moment in time are dropping already. Here's Sonya, Nitrogen at the front. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to bring the pain.
He brings the pain already, keeping up with that Wrath, clearing out these minions 13 to 11.
Max, ich will die Luft holen, oder was
For the combo.
ist
The line
los,
comes
Mike?
out from Judy as he holds the front line.
Respect
Wird
the
er wohl noch
auras
Luft
over
holen
the
können.
bottomless blast here for Miracle. Seraphim on the side of Urel as we're seeing them move in. 19 to 21. The cocoon is out. Dignitas tries to make the play, but Poik is under attack from the back line.
The Visiting Wrath comes in. Same time, Sniper tries to go for the retreat. Arrow comes out, connects up on Snitch, but Snitch jumps in. There goes the mouse from Toronto's already been deleted though.
Tirana is down and they're looking at Poik, and Gul'dan falls. Miracle with a double kill, and Miracle looks for more.
Miracle is just running over Team Dignitas right now. Snitch has some decent shields, and Wubby trying to stay alive with JPL, but do they have the damage here to actually fight against Miracle? And the answer's gotta be a no. Leoric gets cleaned up, and Nitrogen makes Snitch completely escape as Kerrigan has to retreat.
Miracle turns around immediately towards the Punisher, and that entire fight started actually with Deckard Cain trying to get his tail by Listen out, but he couldn't. He was insta-interrupted. Snitch jumping away, but he can't escape. He goes down. It's only JPL, and just look at this. They're wrecking the keep at the top side. They ignore the Punisher in the middle. They just simply say, we go core.
Miracle is a team that brings out the upsets, and they're going straight for the core with a Sonya to lead the charge, and a full health Sonya at that. They easily got this here. Wubby trying to come back for the respawn. JPL doing what he can to slow it down, but you can't stop Miracle. Miracle with the Miracle run, able to come forward, look at the core, and start to burn it down. Dignitas suffers their first loss in the HGC finals.
Great performance here in game one. Initially, all goes Dignitas' way, but it is that mid and late game where we see Miracle with good decision making, grabbing the 16, defending the top lane push, and then turning it around, bringing the aggression throughout the entire level 20 fight, and then taking no prisoners, going topside, taking down Kerrigan, dropping the keep, and going for the core.
Starting to feel a little like last series, guys. Team Liquid went in, got game one versus Gen G, but then Gen G...
Let's come back to that, Leo.
Your opponents are...
Gen G versus Team Liquid, we've seen that particular set. Please, but Dignitas...
Jin's gonna sidestep that root coming out, and he's able to survive. The Dignitas trying to play with fire here and get their first kill. Beautiful play there by Urel.
Snitch and Poik are really the two that need to make this happen for them right now. The mobility that we're seeing on those two heroes, the ability to collapse onto a backline target and take it apart is what's heavily needed here for Dig to tie this series leading into the third game. But Miracle, of course, has very different plans here. They already took the lead after game number one. If they can make it 2-0 happen, that would be fantastic for their chances to go up against Gen G in the grand final.
And those kills will be easier too for Gen G at level 4 when he gets that split strike, extra damage at the end of the tip there. So we should be seeing that from Snitch soon, and that comes at a point where the control point will be coming in. Now the next thing that we need to focus on is the support camp, and you see both teams dancing around. Everyone is fully aware of what this can provide if you don't take it.
And Blue Beetle already has the potions ready, immediately setting this up because he knows this might be where we're going to have the first big fight. And you see the offlaner starting to focus a little bit more towards the middle of the map. Miracle has just pushed out the bot lane, so they're making the rotation, but it's the mid lane that everyone's focusing on. So far, there's no commitment to the support camp.
Dignitas can start it there. They have a pulse bomb ready, and that idea of just starting the fight so you get the pulse bomb off and try and force your opponent into an engage that they do not want to have is something they can pull off. They just need to get Blaze to rotate over. And speaking about that, Blaze is actually on his way as he is currently in the middle lane.
Strangling Vines also taking him off here, and we've seen this also a bit in the semi-final already, making sure that you have less healing on the target. Crest Talents coming in galore, by the way, with the Frostwolf back now chosen on Thrall. Definitely something that we see a lot more, especially out of Korean teams.
Something that Sniper really finishes quickly too. He did it yesterday on BOE. Remember, we had an 80k damage game. The next person behind him was down at 38k. This guy knows how to play Thrall and push him to his limit. Dignitas starting to look at this point here as Miracle does the same.
This is actually a great position for Miracle because they can stack those Crash Lightnings on Thrall. That's super important for him here to get a couple more of these hits in. And right now he's sitting at 5 stacks already.
Sitting at 5, and more should come. What becomes of the Jump Potion? They go straight for a combo, looking straight at not just Jin. Urel trying to escape, misses the full disengage, and here comes Genji.
Well done, Dignitas going in deep for this one. The final hit by a Blaze, but especially Snitch's play here is super important. There's just no chance to escape. The shots, the hits keep coming from every single angle.
And Poik doing the small things there. He gets in the face of Urel, immediately blinks back the last second, and that's why you saw that big hammer miss out on the full engage, and that allowed for Genji to come in and finally get that kill. Dignitas finds one, takes the support camp, and already has the lead on the control point, sitting at 40%.
Dignitas loves to play from this position. They have played this map in the regular season 13 times and only lost once against the leftovers. Outside of that, Dignitas is just looking great here. And they are now in that position where that healing beacon is giving them the upper hand in the fight over the first protector here. Miracle goes in, one comes out, then triple strike, goodbye Thrall, he's gone, and Dignitas is looking powerful here.
You have to be careful against a Blaze. That 3-man stun. You had Poik come in from behind, jump straight on top of Thrall, stopping those Crash Lightnings in their track. At the same time, Dignitas cannot make an aggressive play for the turret, and they take another item for the map.
And the kill, of course, also reset the stacks that we already saw in the Frostwolf back for Sniper. So that's another big part here. 9 stacks on the Crash Lightning. We're going to keep a close eye on that. It's especially threatening Tracer with a poke, but right now Dignitas is looking powerful. Level lead, going to the top side, trying to take down the fountain at least, and in the meantime splitting Ruby down to the bottom of the map to grab even more experience.
Yeah, textbook play here from Dignitas. Sometimes we've been seeing an adjustment to push in that middle 4 and try and get that big experience, but yeah, Rain with that nice single target DPS damage. You just want to go for that well and make sure you're set up for the next control point on the top side. Now Dignitas, one of the best things they do with the Protector is they are so good at finding a target and blowing it up. Their teamwork is huge, and they're looking for another pick, and there it is as Jimmy goes down.
He does not only go down, he doesn't even drop the turret. Thrall also falls here. Miracle Miracle is not getting a foothold in this game anytime soon. The turret dropped and immediately picked up by Tracer, then Thrall falls as well. Dig with 4 kills to 0 and more than a level lead is looking stellar in game 2.
You have to be so careful against the Protector because this happens. You suddenly fall so behind. 1 level and a half in favor of Team Dignitas. They are close to level 10. And with that level 10, they have a couple of options. Take down that middle 4, get more experience as well, try to look for some kills, or just simply keep taking away idols.
The next few minutes are going to be just horrible for Miracle. They're going to be sitting in the spot where they know that
die ganze Arbeit erzählen, darf ich dir die ganze Zeit auf stumm schalten.
Behind forts with this to look for even more kills. They have the mobility through Tracer and Genji, of course. So they are going to see if they can maybe pick up another kill here. Maybe go for that Thrall again, but at least destroy.
Du unbedingt immer so laut atmen. Kannst du es nicht leiser machen?
Towards that level 10, get that certification online so you can actually handle the onslaught coming in from Team Dignitas. But Dignitas should be
Irgendwie ist es ja alles zu man sieht mich kaum noch.
Their item advantage is ridiculous at this point.
They got 4 right now. They're all set up. I don't even know if Blaze is something on the bottom, but I wouldn't be surprised there if Blaze had an item as well. Dignitas just knows how to run this battleground.
At some point you have to start destroying them simply because you can't hold anything.
Yeah, you throw down a turret.
You have to drop the turret and just simply waste it because you don't want to give it over to your opponent, because right now Dignitas is in just the best spot ever for the next objective in particular.
And there's that answer. Blaze has that turret, another combo straight in, and boom, there goes Thrall.
We talked about it. They dive behind the fort, they go in, they have the mobility, they drop Thrall and they go for the fort.
And they drop a turret because you know what's spawning right now? Another turret in the bottom right corner. Yep. Miracle's turret is up and Dignitas beeline straight over for it.
We need an inventory for those heroes near the storm, so they can hold 2, 3.
Their stock value is definitely going up pretty darn heavily here for Team Dignitas, and they're building towards that 13 too. Miracle finally hits 10.
7 Minuten
We've made it to 10. We've got heroics now. Miracle only 2 levels behind, but still in the same talents here. I'm more curious to see if we're going to get that Sun Ring in from Thrall. It's been a main go-to for Sniper, but we've seen some adjustments here and there by a lot of teams.
But what do we usually see on this map? If you lose the first Protector, you're focusing your attention towards the second objective. You know that your opponent is going to hit the early level 13, so you have to give a bit of that progress over to them. But then, throughout half of it, you normally can engage into it with the same talent. I don't see that happening for Miracle here. They, first of all, don't have the top fountain anymore. They have no item control. And at this point, they are also having nearly no chance of getting 13. They need a team fight ideally now, and they need to get some kills from somewhere. If they fall too far behind after another Protector, I don't see them recovering.
Let's have the fight here. Remember, there are 3 turrets here for Dignitas. Dignitas sets up. The control point being used here on the top side. Urel on the back line.
This is the chance. 13 isn't there yet. This is the best fight you're going to get, Miracle. Sanctification is on the ground. They're looking for the kill. The bunker is there. The X-strike to the face. Snitch with the triple kill.
Incredible. Legen sie einfach mal 4 gleich, ey. Ja, dann hättet ihr jetzt eigentlich genug Zeit, ein bisschen die Festung zu stürmen, ne?
Look at that X-strike. Genji Snitch with a play completely.
Da wird sie um den Dings gestritten, ey. Also und dann Puff und Puff und Puff. Boah, 3 gleichzeitig und dann ging der Kill auch noch vor hinüber.
Already working on that keep wall. Dignitas is setting up again for a killing blow. We saw us on Infernal Shrines and Miracle defended against it. But can they hold against a Protector?
It's going to be extremely difficult, especially since there's even more experience going to land in your lap if Dignitas grabs the objective now. I'm just still impressed by Snitch here. I mean, that was absolutely devastating. Just from a psychological perspective, Miracle sitting there and getting completely wrecked by Genji. Keep in mind, we saw a similar play already earlier when Wooby landed that triple jet propulsion, and then we saw Genji just darting in, dishing out the damage, and it led to several kills for Dignitas. Currently, you can tell Snitch, he wants this. He's saying like, nope, I'm not gonna go out 0-2 in here and have to enter the 3rd map being so far down. We are gonna take this one, and then we're gonna break them.
Sniper just so low on health already. A pulse bomb comes out and some damage from Lovely Judah for good measure. Didn't even have the glove connected. The glove connected from Dignitas. That would have certainly been a kill. Yeah. Dignitas taking the time here to shred down this keep while Miracle sets up for defense. They're trying to build towards 13, but they have to hold firm.
Urana's still topside. They're trying to get experience there. They want 13 at least. They need some XP and need it soon. But Dignitas, of course, they want to keep, and Miracle is very well aware that they have no chance of actually holding it. They're just to try and delay it, burn that Punisher down, burn the Protector down to make sure that there is no way for Dignitas to end.
There is good news for Miracle. We got 18 stacks there for Thraw, building up the Crash Lightning, so things are still building up for them as they continue to get that damage propped up. A 3-level deficit is certainly starting to hurt, but Miracle is no stranger to this. We saw them earlier be behind and turn around the game completely. Wubby goes in for engage. Material dodges it as Judy sets up the play.
And now Wubby is in trouble. It was great play by Judy, but can they get the kill there? Jet Propulsion moves out. Frostwolf pack completed, and an item on the ground as we are stealing a healing beacon, helping out Blaze.
Hoyt did one thing that was really brilliant. Jumped into the back line and made him say, hey, look at me. That allowed time for Blaze to get away after the bunker, use the jet propulsion to completely escape. But Miracle still showing they got some fight left in them. They're going to come down here this turret to fight.
They're going for the turret. Dignitas is saying, boys, just take a deep breath in.
Yeah.
They're so close to 16. Why would we give them a fight on 13 talents? There is zero reason. Let them have the turret. We go to the left side, take our own. We will have a 3-level lead, the 16 talent advantage, and then we play around that. There's no need to make it easy for them to come back into the game.
Especially when we consider that fully grabs are picked up by a lot of teams today. If that would have came out in that situation, would have had a nice lock in there. Dignitas could not have been able to escape. So 16-13, Dignitas holding on to their lead, but now we can relax for a little bit and get a bit of a breather. Miracle at the same time hitting 13, and at least finally have a turret on their side.
Yeah, they have that one turret on their side now, but it's still a horrible position for them to be in. Very difficult to go for the objective later. But I guess Miracle has no other choice anymore. They need to force fight somewhere. They need to make something happen. Get a quick kill, make a rotation, force a battle out of Dignitas. If at any point you get some experience through taking down structures, you might be able to close those gaps. But Dignitas has been running such a tight ship. Look at this, they haven't even lost a single hero. It's 9 kills against 0 in this game.
Just being relentless here, even grabbing this camp Delta from the top lane, trying to get the side up towards that forward, maybe look for a pick. Just throwing out jet propulsions like candy here. It's not even Halloween, but he just tosses them out left and right.
Yeah, and deservedly so. I mean, he gets the value out of them. It's a 2-for-1 Walmart sale they were seeing here the entire time. And with the pressure play topside, Miracle can't even split heroes off into the middle or bottom to grab more experience. They have to focus their attention on this. There's a double cap pushing in. If you give Dignitas a chance, they will
see me rolling. They hate it. Hey, ich hab das schon mal gesehen. Ich hab schon Kröten so nah erlebt.
Shields come out from Tyrael, but is that going to be enough? Again, Wubby with engage, but he misses. Jet propulsion brings him in deep. The bunker's on the ground right away. There's still a lot of tools available for Miracle, but that 3-level lead is making it difficult. Darting in deep, but missing the bomb.
He went in for the pulse bomb, did not connect, had that hit that may have been a kill there on Judy, although he had that certification available. Sniper on the backside, also dropping down some Crash Lightnings. Dignitas aside, okay, we didn't get our kill, let's go ahead and back on up. It was a nice attempt, but we still have a cool 2.5 level advantage on our opponents.
Sind die Matches hier irgendwie gerade Sprintschnecken oder was ist hier los, ey?
Just made it impossible for Miracle to split on 3 lanes. So they bought a bit more time. Now the objective is announced. And you look at Miracle and you say, well, there's 0 chance if you are getting that 16 immediately. You might have a chance picking it up as Dignitas is adding progress and then go into one fight, but that's the only chance that you're going to get here.
Turret still being focused on the bottom line, but Noxygen on the top had to deal with the Genji who was jumping on him. Noxygen was able to escape, but here's a control point into it.
Sieht auch gut aus. Die eine Hälfte im Licht, die andere im Dunkeln.
Miracle needs to get this half level of experience and find a fight to where they can actually continue.
Oh mein Gott!
18 for Dignitas. No level 20 in sight anytime soon, but it's all about the level 16 talent here. And Miracle is still half a level away from it. Dignitas with more damage towards the structures, prepping the bottom lane here.
Wirklich, ich finde meine rechte Seite ist wirklich zu dunkel.
To match what we're seeing on Dignitas. Now Miracle moving in. They don't have 16 yet, but they know that they have a possibility to fight for that protector, and they need to take it.
Miracle stepping up, so close to that 16. Sniper in position to come in for a Sundering. Pulse Bomb comes out, but Art of Defender gets used. But that's a cooldown that you're willing to exchange. Meanwhile, Boyk is working on building another Pulse Bomb.
It's do or die. It's now or never. Miracle needs to move in on 16, and they do it. But 1 second, that Jet Propulsion. Snitch with the damage, looking for the kills. The arm on the shields come out on Miracle's side as they're desperately trying to hold on.
2 heroics down, though. Sundering used for a counter initiation. Dignitas easily takes the Protector, and now they'll start to look at this bottom lane. lane. They even have the option to
Schlacht.
and just take the game. Oh, they're actually going for that option here as they group up and head to top lane.
Rennt der hin zur Mitte oder noch ganz oben?
Now we have them trying to end it early on, and that's Miracle. They have to somehow move in and try and cut them off here. Digna's actually focusing onto the keep right now, realizing that they might not be able to completely pull it off, and instead just trying to get even more of a map advantage. Moving through the middle, but any kill right now would end in an immediate goal for the core.
Oh, Frankel in weird position here on the back line and getting some damage out. No gloves available though, but Frankel helping deal with the protector. At the same time, this keep is getting barraged down. Hoig on the right, keeping everyone in check as Miracle tries to step up and defend.
They will lose the keep. The question is, do they lose more? Is Dignitas able to get a kill here that would lead them to go straight for the end of the game? 19.5. They are so close to the Storm Talons. With a 20 advantage, there's no doubt in my mind that Dignitas would go straight for it, but they have to play it a bit safer. They're going for the fort at the bottom lane, and they want that experience.
2 lanes of catapults, top and middle. They're looking to take an extra fort here, which will build towards that level 20. Grouping up
Sind die denn da jetzt?
Wobby on that front line. He still has a bunker available if he needs to drop it.
Once again,
Greif doch an!
trying to go for it, doesn't find the kill, and the protector is about to be burned down here. Crash Lightning completed a while ago, so the poor potential is there, but the kill is coming in as Urel falls to JPL.
She had 10 more seconds until she had that Ardent Defender. That cooldown that was using that bottom control point is going to be exploited by Team at Dignitas. Miracle only has 4 forward defense, and Dignitas is grouping up in the middle lane.
I don't even know why they were defending in the first place.
Wird auf jeden Fall Dignitas
no
gewinnen.
matter what you do. Now we might see the end of the game. Snitch goes for Sniper, and they take him down. Sniper
Also von der Zeit her weiß ich überhaupt nicht, ob noch 2 Matches oder nur noch 1.
Big stay a while, listen. Stitch goes in straight up the blue beam, but he'll heal on up. Rainer doing his best to defend. Urel will be back in about 5 seconds. The shield on for Miracle. Dignitas pushing the envelope here. Catapults are coming in to help out.
They need an incredible miracle to stay in this game, but Dignitas is pushing through. JPL low. They want to drop him, but he still has the indestructible. The core is already falling as Miracle is trying desperately to hold on.
JPL on that front side, dropped on that iron skin. Judy trying to go in with the holy ground, but 20% down to 10. It continues to fall here as Dignitas is going to tie up the series. We're going 1-1, and we're going to game 3 as both teams are tied up in the match. And now it's a double favorable.
We have also other tools like the jet propulsion alone, but still, he needs to be the one who makes the plays for his team.
Well, here we go into the third map here. Dignitas on the far left. JPL. Tyrael is going to be played by him.
Gut finde ich mehr.
Loving here, Foik on Rainer. Well, we're going to be having Snitch showing off the great name, unexpected, as Zalia will be showing off Taronda. It is Team Dignitas.
It's game number 3 into the right side of the map. In the red, we have Genji, played by a Sniper. We see Frankel on Jaina for all that burst damage to confirm the target. Nacho Jin on Leoric for the offlane. Blue Beetle on the support. He's rocking the deck at Kane. Judy on Diablo. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Miracle.
As mentioned in the draft, a lot of protection here for Dignitas between the Blaze and Tyrael. But if there is any misrotation for Dignitas, Miracle with that into should be able to kill. So hang on, Dig coming out firing once again as they jump straight on top of Judy. Judy backing up straight to the potions, not going to take some damage too, but Dignitas, man, they are loving these early game team fights.
They definitely do, and that was already a big win for them. And oh, they continue the fight even more, trying to go for Sniper here. So far, it looks like he might be able to get away, but hold that thought. He goes down, Genji dead, and Dignitas with the first blood in game number 3.
You do not typically get a pick on a Genji in the early game, but that's Swift Strike being used, and Wubby able to idolize it, move in, and get the full engage. Allows for Dignitas to get that pick up. Now we're going to go straight into the wave clear here, which if you look at it, Miracle has great wave clear. When you look at Frankel in particular on that Jaina, and this is actually a star hero for him. So watch for him around level 10 in particular to be destructive against Dignitas.
It was still a pretty big setback that they took so much damage in the early game, because a lot of the players outside of Genji had to just move back and tap at the fountain, so that's already not an option any longer for them, for the time being at least. But I'm still looking towards how much Diablo is going to impact this game. We're going to wait for him to get a couple of stacks together on his soul so that he is a lot more hit point heavy. And then we'll probably have a bit of a tougher time for Dignitas to really get the kills. It's really Greymane who then has to deliver later on.
Early bruiser camp here from Miracle, getting the offensive slay, but Dignitas realizing that there was not a rotation on the map, is going to guess their opponents were on top of that camp, but Toronto may have scouted out as well. So they grab their camp and should have the defensive capability for this, meeting up with the spell camp right at their turret. So he should be able to handle that and also deal with Miracle, who typically goes for a drop-off when you go for that first initial push of the bruiser camp.
In talents, you can now also see a few of the differences that we highlighted earlier. With now Austin's renewal on Leoric is taken on level 1 for Miracle. When Dignitas were running Leoric on Infernal Shrines, they went into the Consume Vitality. Now a lot of that had to do with the cooldown reduction that you really want to activate throughout the entire Shrine phase, but it shows again that especially Korean teams are very dominant when it comes to that Austin's renewal to give them value.
Camp in favor Dignitas here in the middle. Judy goes in for a flip, trying to get close to the turret. It's not quite there, but at least in range here for Nitrogen to help out with that wave flip. And Neil Peasant's to level 4, helping destroy that lane here in the middle. 19 gems have been dropped off by Dignitas, building towards that first turn-in that we typically see from them.
They have a lot of interrupt potential here too through Toronto alone. Just sending the Owls and the Luna Fair through can help you to make sure that your opponent doesn't turn in. Now granted, there's also a couple of tools for Miracle. We're talking about Deckard Kane, you have Genji available, and also to an extent Jaina, depending on how far you're willing to go and how much you're going to risk there. But right now, the objective mainly controlled by Dignitas. 25 turned in, and only 5 missing before they can complete a turn-in.
Yeah, you were talking about Janina, that Frost Shard really helps out with that clear, that Pierce being available, make sure that she doesn't get in too much trouble in terms of trying to delay that turn-in. But Wubby also will be pretty instrumental in that bottom lane, helping out with the fire, of course, as he continues to throw out that oil. JPL juking and jiving here on the top side, while Frankel goes for the first turn-in from Miracle. We'll be able to get it. No, another delay once again.
Yeah, there comes the Lunar Flare that we've been talking about. The Indra potential through Zelia. And he's, of course, getting those stacks in with it too, sitting at 2 for now. Rotations between the top turn-in point and the bottom are pretty frequent. He has both of the teams are trying to sneak something in. But it might very well come down to another big battle between the two.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder if Dignitas wants to have that battle. Does he want to wait till level 10 and have the signification so you can empower that Greymane, allow for him to go for that full-on dive, find a target? Jaden would be the main target for him. Dignitas continuing to build up towards that. 25 gems have been dropped off, but Judy looking for a zone engage, goes straight in for Boy.
That was actually a really good attempt, but the follow-up from Blue Beetle was a bit off there. That could have definitely been a kill if he lands that properly. I think there was a bit of a mistake in communication between Diablo and Deckard Kane. Outside of that, this could have been the first kill for Miracle, and especially Poik needs to be careful here because he is the prime target for them.
But it still shows that Judy willing to pull up that initiative, and that Diablo really allows for him to have that initiative and find those engagements. He'll definitely have more opportunities to find those picks.
Especially now that he has a couple of souls available. He's already sitting at 77, so that hit point pool is allowing him to make these plays without exposing himself too much. Snitch, of course, still at the frontier, able to move away as Judy was hoping to put him into trouble.
Yeah, Judy went for that full engage, but Snitch is fit completely back, knowing they have the teammates to back him up. Boy doing his best here to push Judy away while JPO goes for that turn, and he has a level gems available to him. Dignitas, tight backward zone, needs to be careful. Blue Beetle, constantly with that poke, could prevent them from getting that turn in.
I mean, Europe is known to get the double turn in, get one turn in and try and take a bit of a lead, just spiral that towards the level 10, and then with the heroic abilities as an advantage, you're looking for the second one. Again, the engage onto Poike though, as Miracle is looking for the fight. They excel at team fighting. They've done such an incredible job against Tempest, do that in particular, and of course they're going to be the aggressive team in this match.
One of the reasons why Diablo is so strong on this battleground, Judy already finishing that Soulstone quest, having all 100, so that full tank capacity, being able to make sure that he has that region available for him, and that really allows for him to keep up his aggressive play that he keeps pulling off. Now in the bottom lane, we constantly have these two continuing to fight back and forth, and they have a hefty amount of gens on the Nitrogen, sitting on 32.
Level 7 for Leoric also, no hopelessness for him. Instead, we're having the drain momentum here for the added movement speed that you get through that. And once again, that mobility can really help you on the map here, especially in those team fights to rush onto these targets. Here comes Judy once more onto Zelia. Gets a bit of damage in, but the turnaround attempt as we're seeing Greymane engage.
Judy just does not care. He will dive time and time again. He knows he has Deckard to back him up. He was looking for an engage near a turret of Dignitas. Say there was somebody that was able to drop some CC there. He may have taken some taking shots and maybe falling victim, but he doesn't mind. Snitch, however, in trouble. Kiting away, a sniper punishes.
Yeah, they really brought the pain there. Genji did so well. Sniper following that up and already thinking about going even a bit deeper, but that would have faded in too much. 9 on both sides, both waking for the heroic abilities here.
Judy.
And again, the attack towards Spoik.
Blake was putting some damage on Sniper. He did get him to back up. Judy comes in and gets a snap, but the turn-in actually happening here on Miracle.
Leoric zoning out Whoopi at the bot lane, and then we saw the turn being completed here, so Miracle is going to try and build up a bit of momentum. It's actually a bit of a dangerous situation for Dignitas. They themselves are close to 10, but if Miracle gets that quickly enough, they could even try and dive behind it. Looks very likely that both are going to get their heroics at the same time, but there's a small chance for Miracle to make maybe a play.
Yeah, you certainly have to watch out for that Entombment be coming out. If they try to catch him even over the wall, that could pick up. And then, of course, Judy is showing a hefty amount of aggression. He's willing to dive. Dignitas is going to play it safe here, sit behind the turrets, and make sure to clear this up. They'll hit 10 just in time to have this defense.
And now, of course, the question, how much is Miracle going to get out of this? Some pressure at the bot lane, but most of their aggression is focused onto the middle of the map, where we're seeing the turrets being destroyed, the fountain about to go down. Can they take the fort, though? That's the question.
That curse bullet online for Greymane, hoping to blow up Diablo, who's been pretty aggressive. You can make sure you can follow up straight to that curse bullet, see if you can get that kill. Dignitas defends the middle lane, but the bottom is in trouble. Bunker comes out from
Whoopi.
There's a blizzard, and he picked.
He goes down, and that's a lot of gems that they just lost, and they're not stopping there. Miracle goes in, the sanctification's already on the ground as they're trying to save them somehow. The turnaround attempt, but Nacho Jin survives on Leoric. Judy goes in again. They try to go for the kill, and they get it. Tyrael falls.
Sniper on that back line, looking at Poik. Leoric also getting picked there at the same time, but a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Miracle. And the big news, too, is they take out the fort in the bottom left.
They take out the fort. They are ahead in experience now, and let's not forget that with them taking down Whoopi, they also make sure that Dignitas loses a fair amount of gems here. They're trying to make that even more as Snitch is the target, but with Miracle currently just... yeah, they get the second turn. They confirm it. They go straight for turn in number 2, and now Dignitas has to be careful. If they lose another few heroes, if they lose even more gems, this could be a disaster.
Exactly. This is a position that we've seen many teams in, and usually a majority of them falter. They fall victim, something that keeps under pressure. They lose a couple of gems. The pick goes haywire. Dignitas has to remain composed and defend.
The pressure's already there. The pressure is already there at the top lane, taking the turrets down, pushing the wave out, making sure that the Web Weaver becomes very dangerous to the top fort, and then the rotation into the middle of the map. Bot lane also, Leoric escorting the Web Weavers towards the keep wall. Miracle wants the 13, and they're likely to get it here.
Dignitas thinking about maybe going for an engage. They bring Webby up here to the middle lane, has that bunker available. There is no sync for about 20 seconds, but they really would like to clear up this Web Weaver. It's at about half health. Spell Arcam is going to help out with the defense, but Genji in the top is just showing away on the fort.
And he's getting some damage in against Snitch too, so this is actually a pretty big battle, which forces a rotation for Dignitas. They're making the moves right now with Tyrande and Reyna moving in. Sniper had to retreat, but here comes the question of Apocalypse.
Judy saw an opportunity, but that opportunity was false. He went in for an APOC, was hoping to get off the full combo, but Dignitas backs away easily, especially with the fort already having to deal with the minion wave pushing in.
Now 13 on the other hand. Here's the Entomb. They go for Snitch. They stun it to the wall, and down goes Greymane. Miracle with another kill.
Beautiful aggressive play there for Miracle, and they're wanting a little bit more too. Judy stepping up, but having no cooldowns available. He will be unable to find a pick, but they get the fort. And the first player defense is completely gone for Dignitas.
That was incredibly well done by Miracle. Getting that kill a bit later than they expect, but they still got it now 2 levels ahead, and they turn their attention towards the boss immediately, trying to barrel through that top lane and maybe even already Dignitas, they scout it out, but they can't do anything about it.
Kann ich
They
nicht.
can't help the waiter down here, get level 13, play it safe, and defend. The good news is the gem turn-in being available. It took over 2 Miracle here. Only 43 to 60 gems, so you're not going to have to deal with a boss and a turn-in at the same time, but still, a boss pushing towards you is a threat. Dignitas is going to be working for that 13 and try to hold on.
And Dignitas continues to lose gems. They have enough to secure a turn-in, but they currently hold 33. So there's still a little bit for them to lose. The boss is strong at that top lane. Leoric making his way through the middle right now, pushing this in as well. And the experience just keeps on tickling towards Miracle.
Dignitas might try to go for this fight. Lunar Flare goes out. Ooh, Genji immediately out of there. They were pushing in the middle lane too, so Dignitas would be there. But they're so reactive right now. They don't have a chance to even step up and get that turn in.
And now we have Miracle turning in whatever they have. So they make sure that even if they lose a hero or two, that there's no upset for them when it comes to the objective itself.
They actually got enough now for the full turn in. Will they get it here?
I mean, during all of this, we saw Leoric just pushing out the bot lane, and he got so much experience in the middle before he made that rotation even. So he still holds the rest of the gems, and he can't just get the turn in yet. But here comes Dignitas. They get the web weavers. The big question here is just, when is Miracle going to hit 16? Because that would be great for them to defend.
Exactly. Dignitas is hoping to make a splash here.
Oh.
They can afford or even find a couple of kills.
They actually get the bottom camp.
Yeah,
he
they
was
get over
there
here.
just in time to keep it active.
So they get the giant camp. They'll have the 3 web weavers pushing in. What can they do with this? They ideally would love to take down a couple of forts. Here you might only get one here, but Miracle, they have some pretty solid wave clear. Look at Jaina, look at Leoric. They should be able to handle this.
The problem is, how does Dignitas force a fight?
Yeah.
They can do it around the jet propulsion and also around the Tyranno stun, but outside of that, there's very little that they can pull off here. They try and go for nitrogen. He turns around, gets the double entomb. APOC not used. There's not enough around. They didn't collapse. They only had 3 heroes in the middle and made the choice to walk away.
Nitrogen's low on health, but he should be able to escape, but that 4 is the one that's in trouble. Frank comes over and drops down the water elemental. He's trying to force the engage. Blue Beetle steps up, stay a while, listen. He'll hit Snitch, but the bunker comes out. Dignitas turns around, jet propulsion. There goes one. Sanctification, and there's a second.
Double kill against Jaina and Deckard Kane, and they go for the triple as Leoric falls. Miracle loses the fort in the mid lane, and they lose 3 heroes. Dignitas back to business.
Exactly what Dignitas needed, and now they can play for that level 16 and tie up the experience. They push out the middle and start to tread through. And the good thing about a Greymane, even though we don't see him very often, he destroys structures.
Pure execution on the side of Miracle, and now they might be the first one to lose a keep here. They don't have anyone to defend. Dignitas, they have 16, and after taking a beating in the early stages of the game, they are now taking the lead in game number 3.
At any moment, Dignitas can just flip that switch. Beautiful play by them. The full engage from Miracle coming forward, but the turnaround in the bunker and the decision to destroy a target was instantaneous.
Miracle has to communicate better. The Entomb was there. They didn't follow it up with an Apocalypse. They just decided, guys, we only have 3 here. We can't go for it. But then again, for the second time in a row, we're seeing an Apocalypse that just doesn't get a lot of value. And with 2 heroics already being used, they're not getting anything. Immediately, Miracle loses 2 as Dignitas goes straight for the kill switch. Now they get another turn in. They are riding the momentum train, and Miracle is all of a sudden in a very, very awkward position.
The question is, what can they get with momentum, though? Because this is their last turn, and they have no more gems available after this, so Dignitas will be in a bit of a lull for a little bit. So let's see what they can get with these web weavers. Miracle on the other side, if they can defend, they do have enough gems to go for their own turn. And top side, Nitrogen taking some damage here, but Tyrion's not going to get that kill.
It's going to be an easy defense at the bot lane. And you raise a really good question. How much can Dignitas get out of this? Because bot side is defended quite easily. Middle keep is already gone. So naturally, you would focus your attention towards the top of the map. But it's a little bit doubtful if Dignitas gets a lot out of this.
Dignitas picking up this middle lane to make Miracle defend that. They want to go for this keep here. That's their major play. That would be their greatest achievement if they can hold that off with this turn in here. There they go. Finally rotating over. This keep wall will easily go down. The keep is the question. And Miracle already setting up for the defense. You have Nitrogen ready with that Needle Peasant to clear it up.
And this is really the one play that they can try and make here. But if Miracle gets a good combo off with that N2, with that Apocalypse, and the follow-up, then this could also turn very quickly into a graveyard for Dignitas. Bunker or no bunker. Cooldowns haven't really been used yet, but the defense is ready for Miracle as Dignitas tries to go for keep number 2.
The web weaver's already low. I'm keeping an eye on Greymane. This will be the one to pull the trigger here to go in. There goes that Wubby jet propulsion into a lunar flare. Sniper turns around, puts some damage up, but the keep only tickled.
Yeah, keep loses a few hit points, but that's just simply not enough. The fight's still raging on. The Entomb is there, and it hits the Snitch, but the Sanctification is being used by JPL to keep him in place.
That counter stock was so brilliant there, making it to where you couldn't just click on him. And of course, Thunderjet gets turned around on it, cleaned up, as Dignitas completely destroys him. Judy seems to be next. There it is. Dignitas just knows how to turn around a team fight.
Miracle making some questionable decisions here, and they're losing a third. Down goes Jaina, and that's a death for Dignitas to get even more. Snitch doesn't even die.
How is Greymane still alive? Snitch gets out with a sliver of his health and will get healed up by Tyrande. 2 have fallen, and Dignitas makes the play for the boss. They push on over, and with the Greymane, they clear this up.
They're in a fantastic spot right now, and you have to really question the decisions that Miracle has been making there at the defense at the top, trying to chase that down, and especially Laura going this deep. getting immediately blown up after coming out of the rainfall. And now we're having a boss coming through that top lane. Dignitas, they can look to finish here. If they get another kill with a keep already on half health, that's definitely an opportunity to take the lead in the series.
Exactly. Round 2, Dignitas versus this keep. And it looks like this keep might not be able to take this round here. Webweavers will be coming out, but that should be an immediate cleanup. Dignitas is going straight past the Webweaver, and there it goes. Catapult pressure in the top lane will be coming pretty soon here as this Banshee attempts to clean it up. There we go. Boss is going straight for the score. And that's a hell of a but keep in mind, Judy also
Das wird die ganze Zeit. Ist total nicht viel.
He falls the counter kill look and screaming. There's a huge amount of the damage that is available on Dignitas side, but that boss is still on the core.
That's still your core right there.
Das ist mehr Schwächen, als wenn da was anderes geschrieben ist.
Slowing him down. Webby goes in for another difficulty, and the core is starting to be tickled down. As Dignitas is looking for a win here. The bunker comes out. There's a sanification too. 50% on the core. Miracle trying to defend, but the boss is just wailing away.
Ja, da hätten sie schon zubeißen können, ne?
If Team Dig can't outmatch
A hero like Gin. Find the minute a new brack.
Cams can be quite easily more.
We'll do definitely a possibility. A garage looking for those combos will be nailing the difficulty. Quick on the Hanzo. Gonna bring out those scatter arrows. Snitch there with the Rainer actually. And Zelia on Taronda. Give it up again for Team Dignitas.
Ach, gib her.
Ich hab ja schon.
And maybe for the last time at this tournament, to the right side of the map here on Cursed Hollow, we have Sniper on Genji. We're seeing Frankel with the burst damage on Jaina, trying to deliver those blizzards. Nitrogen on the off lane with the Haka. Blue Beetle on Malfurion and Judy on an Uberak. Ladies and gentlemen, Miracle!
Calder, hold on one second. Come on, guys. Give it for Miracle. They've had an amazing run. Let's get one more cheer for them. Miracle has been destroying here. Can they tie it up?
I definitely want game 5.
I want game 5 as well. That's why I asked for those cues there. Miracle, step it up here and immediately you see the 3-man lane that Dignitas loves to pull off on Cursed Hollow. Rainer already up here in the top lane with the support to help him out, and you got Wubby on that front line to act as the pseudo tank.
Shando's Clarity taken here for Blue Beetle as well. The combo with Jaina trying to get those cooldowns recharged. And you can get a lot of damage out if he does his job well. So we're going to find out if the damage output is not going to be enough, but they need that setup, and that's where Judy comes into play here on his Uberak. For now, it's the split on the map where we have a 3-man top side for Dignitas trying to pressure the structure.
Judy doing his best to slow us down, and Uberak actually isn't the best when it comes to wave clear, so he'll need some help pretty darn soon. Malfurion's on the way, while Miracle has started to put Jaina in the bottom right to start working on those giants, trying to offset this pressure from Dignitas. But if Dignitas comes out, and actually here comes a Toronto, as it zooms across the map, they will start to push up even more aggressively.
Of course, if you have a Jaina in your midst, then going for those cams can be quite easy. The more she builds that up, and then you can just simply take those later on even more quicker than right now. You get a bit of pressure going through the lane. That's when Nitrogen is going to have an easier time against Hanzo. But you also at the same time give up some topside control, and that resulted in one tower nearly taken out by Dignitas.
That's right. Get pretty darn low, and we also have those giants coming in here soon. We will be having the tribute spawn pretty close for our team. Looking at the bottom though, because Poik's in trouble. Oh my gosh, he jumps out. Even his brother can't find the kill.
Good reaction by him though. Very quick
reaction.
Yeah, and immediately jumping out. He already knew that something was likely coming his way here, but that was definitely an attempt by Miracle to just simply blowing apart here.
And it's important that he doesn't die there too, because he has to defend that giant position on the bottom. Yeah. And if suddenly he gets picked up, the Dignitas and their entire attempt to push down the battleground and grab down this keep here in the middle, or get support in the middle with that bruiser camp, suddenly just goes completely away because Rainer has to go to the bottom lane.
And talking bruiser camp, he goes down in a one-on-one against Poik. Oh my god.
Yeah, schaut her Leute, ich bin jetzt der Weihnachtsbaum.
For a little bit, but look at that bruiser camp that's starting to push in the middle. This gives Dignitas a wide opening to play for the tribute.
That is brutal. Poik sitting there, not only defending against the siege giants, but also just simply going up to Genji and saying, hey dude, get wrecked, taking him down in a one-on-one situation after he just had to tap the fountain. That was huge.
Snitch pushing out Judy, keeping him away here. Tribute will be here in about a second here.
Stimmt auch
Gonna
was.
have Ginty showing up too. Jaina's working on that middle lane. Let's see if Dingtoss is able to grab this Tribute.
Diese Ohrringe, die leuchten,
Miracle
ey.
doesn't
Wäre
grab
auch
this
nicht
Tribute,
schlecht.
delaying it is huge, and they need to pull that off there. The longer that you can delay this Tribute, the better you hold off that curse, that level 10 power spike that typically comes in from teams.
Yeah, Judy is still sitting there. Blue Beetle around, so they're trying to go for that follow-up with the roots on the ground, but the damage needs to be there as well. And Jaina made the rotation towards the middle to take down that Bruiser camp. Those two were colliding, and that puts a bit of pressure onto Dick, but we already see Snitch pushing it out.
I really like this answer back from Miracle. Get that middle lane war happening. Stitch has to come over and clear that out, and him not being there means Miracle can run down the bottom lane. JPL ready for Judy, though, goes in for a quick combo. Sniper starts to get the channel here. JPL is going to step up, doesn't need to. Out comes in.
Yell comes through and goes for the interrupt. JPL, that's the roots on the ground. No follow-up just yet. Damage came out from Jaina, burning the cooldown here on the Blizzard.
Rotating down 2 feet behind. Franklin should be able to intercept him, but Blaze in the middle.
Yes.
And Celia just sending the owls.
Wow, constant hits here. Delay, delay, delay. That's the name of the game here.
And they're doing it well. They have the earlier level 7, so Miracle actually backs off for a moment. And they might have to get this one up. They're trying to look for the angle, but the shots don't connect. And that Sniper running away as Dignitas secures the first tribute of the game.
Sniper unable to get that full connect there. The experience also going the lead of Dignitas. So on all fronts, Dignitas got to be happy. They have a kill, they have an experience lead, they have a tribute, they're building towards level 10. Things are looking great. Miracle's have to find a way to find a pick or two to make sure they don't fall too behind.
Yeah, exactly. If Miracle isn't careful, this is going to be the end for them on their road to a potential grand final at Blizzcon 2018. Dignitas, they have the lead in the best of 5. They have those 2 victories already. And Miracle, if they really want the 5th game, they have to find an opening there somewhere. Now, granted, a lot of this is going to come down to level 10 and how they can play around it.
Yeah.
But at this point, Dignitas is definitely taking these small leaps that we've been talking about.
And you gotta love the lane setup too. With putting Hanzo in that bottom lane, you have him as close as possible towards that boss in case you do find the picks that you're looking for. And if Dignitas does ever find that pick, you can say, all right, Hanzo, hop on top of there, I'm on my way down. And you get those scatter arrows, and you shred through that puppy. Now, Dignitas is clearing up the middle lane. Tribute spawns here on the bottom left, which is typically in favor of the blue team.
Exactly. So they have the tribute spawning on their own side. They're also the team that has a slight lead in experience here. But the Haka at the top lane can offset all of that. Miracle is going to try and delay, make sure that the Haka gets some value.
Ja, wenn nicht, dann lass.
Engage here and open up a kill opportunity. Already the flip into the backline. The roots on the ground. So is the Blizzard as Miracle dishes out the damage, but the jet propulsion and the kill down, and Blue Beetle might be next.
Now Furion's in trouble. Sniper goes in to get some damage. But Delia comes up from the side. He's gonna have a Luna flare out pretty darn soon. Can he land it on Judy? The slow comes out. Judy's going to start retreating. Dahaka just a bit too late. Dignitas immediately turn around and get the kill. And here's what we've been talking about. That boss race.
They go for the boss straight away, and why wouldn't they? You have Hanzo in your lineup, so there is the damage. Miracle, they already know this is coming. They're trying to get the boss towards the top side. Garage is there, might send it all across the screen, but to be honest with you, Dignitas with a level 10, with a push, can go for an easy fort here. The world is their oyster at this point. Dignitas, they have their sights locked onto the grand final, and Miracle so far looks like they might have trouble coming back into this.
And Dignitas was having a 2-0 lead on the tribute side. We're going to go ahead and push the bottom lane instead. Commit to that fort. Commit to...
Das ist auch schon viele Jahre her.
That keep wall, get that opened up.
Bestimmt mehr als 10 Jahre. Bestimmt schon vielleicht fast 10 Jahre oder länger, weiß ich nicht.
Yeah, Garage is already sitting at the side here. The fort at the bot lane is about to go down. You have a 1.5 level lead now. Dignitas making the rotation. Will be even staying around, making sure that he picks up the experience in form of waves here, so not missing out on a beat.
Tribute.
Ja, dann mache ich das dann gleich.
As that'll be pushing in the middle. The top boss is heading towards that fort. Dignitas can actually just leave that alone if they would like to, but you can also put Hanzo up there to clear that up thanks to the scatter arrows.
And this is of course the time where we could see the first curse. Miracle is going to try and at least secure that tribute for themselves. They have Notch in the bot lane. He can help with the defense. It's a very early boss, so it's not going to do too much damage here. But Dignitas have taken a significant lead. And Curse at this point would put Miracle into an incredibly difficult situation since they are already losing the outer defense here.
Miracle does have the Haka coming inside. Tan comes out. Sniper goes in, but a new rack is already down. Bunker out once again from Wubby, and Dignitas piles in.
Nacho Jen about to fall here. The burrow in the last second is going to delay the inevitable as we have the second kill coming through. Dehaka eliminated and Dignitas going for the tribute, securing the curse in their game and putting Miracle on notice.
One thing you do with this curse is you're just going to soak up this entire map, get that experience lead, and keep pushing the envelope. Snitch already clearing the top lane. There we go. Deciding whether or not he wants to join out his team. The rest of Dignitas currently in the middle lane, already clearing out that wave and looking to open this keep wall.
Dignitas is spreading immediately on the map. They're taking all the lane experience and making sure that the 4 tier is going to fall. The 1.5 level lead now resulting in a talent advantage as well. And only 8.5 minutes in, Dignitas is dominant in game 4.
Any team, you ask them in the world, they would love to have catapults pushing in around 9 minutes of the map, and Dignitas may be able to achieve that. That big camp here in the middle, I'm actually a little bit worried. If there's a pick that comes in, Dignitas can go straight for the core.
Dignitas is going in deep for this one. They want to be in the finals. They want to go up against Genji. And they are making the plays right now to make that dream a reality. Pushing through the middle, going for the keep here. Before 10 minutes are even on the board, and Miracle is having trouble. Here comes the flip, the stun, the kill. Dehaka is down, and Miracle is on the ropes.
Absolute devastation by Team Dignitas. Dignitas also steps up and looks for this keep. Judy in the bottom is working on clearing out this wave that's already done damage to this keep wall, but Dignitas, after that hit, can make a play for double keeps here. We'll be going forward, trying to get a juxtaposition on Malfurion. Does not connect, but that's okay. Grab more catapults for the map.
Dignitas looking insane. They are trying to get the kill. X-Strike being used to save Sniper, but that is a double keep play. 3 levels ahead, 6 kills against 0. 9.5 minutes into the game. Dignitas making this look like a match.
Dignitas in 4th gear right now, but need to pull back a little bit and go into cruise control. You have a 3-level lead. You're moving towards level 16. Miracle is completely on the back foot and have no major tools except for Dehaka on that global. And with you having a Tyrande and an Owl, you should be able to exactly know where he is at all points. Dignitas just needs to make the right plays and then close the series out.
Dignitas is about to grab a 2 talent advantage, at least for a few seconds. We are seeing the countdown taken towards the top. Bosses are going to come up soon, and then you can make a play for that. 16 is going to be incredible for them. It's insane how much Dignitas is currently dominating this 4th game. Again, the attack against Judy, and he barely gets out.
You mentioned those bosses coming up. 1 minute for the bosses to spawn on the bottom left and the top right side. 60 seconds. Dignitas will have 16. They have Giants prep to have that pushing in the top lane. They, whole entire world is their oyster.
No giddy up this time. We have the rallying cry for Snake, so getting the extra movement and attack speed if you are using your Inspire around allied heroes, and that definitely has pushed them over it for a couple of times in these big team fights that we saw. Hanem Red still coming in as a level 16 talent, but Miracle, they need a Miracle right now. An incredible one at that, because they are down for the count. They haven't even found a kill yet.
Yeah, they are getting into YOLO territory. They even go to that boss bottom left, see if they can maybe scout out Dignitas, get an idea where they're at. Now the Giants being grabbed in the top left, they know at least one is in that area. Dignitas hiding all vision on the battleground. They don't want Miracle to know where exactly they are. Miracle getting ready for that boss. About to pop up pretty darn soon to both of our teams.
Everybody was talking about Dignitas against Genji, and Miracle in game number 1 nearly destroyed those teams, but now look at it, Nubura getting destroyed here. The arrow not even needed. Hanzo sends it out, but then in time it's about to hit. The bot is already dead. They go for the boss, and Miracle is just standing around. Dignitas said, yeah, Kameda, have fun. Here comes Dehaka, and he's already about to go out.
Dehaka comes out of a bush, but he's the one that gets ganked. Webby goes in with the depth potion, locks him down. Blue Beetle has to use the trick 40 to stay alive, and he's kiting away. At the same time, the Banshee putting Sniper in a bad position. Finds himself on the wrong side of a wall. He's cleaned up, and at the same time, all the back more are falling.
Was gar nichts.
Bam! They're trying to take down Malfurion, and he finally falls down as Dignitas is obliterating the entire lineup, turns the attention towards the boss. 11 kills against 0, 3 levels ahead, 17 against 14. Dignitas is on their way to the grand final.
Exactly. Does Dignitas believe they can finish the kill here? They're going to go ahead and tap, make sure they're all set up and good to go. Snitch already moving over to this tower. Gonna try and grab it. Judy trying to slow down time here. It's dropping a cocoon to give time for his teammates to come back.
Yeah, they will have the time to come back. The question is, can they even defend here? The keeps are gone, and Dignitas has a 3-level advantage.
Was ist los?
They have catapults at the bot lane. The boss is moving in. Miracle trying to set up that defense. Arrow missing, but doesn't even matter.
Dann warte mal.
Can they defend? Immediately Stitch moves in. Boyd on the back left. Here trying to kite away. Yep, Sniper trying to chase on the backside. Has to use the X-Track to escape.
Whoopi is about to fall here, but they kill Genji instead. He's down. Najushin is about to fall here. He's moving into the boss stun. Barely gets out. And Uberak trying to re-engage and turn it, but he dies next.
Franco can't even get to his spot to drop any damage here. Another one falls. Nothing gets picked up. It's going to be a total of 3
Ja,
picked up. Blue Beetle
Dignitas
and
gewinnt
Franco.
das.
The only ones left here for
Alter.
Miracle.
Boah. Bum, bum, bum. Und da war es so schnell weg.
Take down the core on Curse Total and advances to the grand final of Blizzcon 2018 to face Genji.
Mal die Rest wirklich hin.
Dignitas.